All right, in today's video, we are going to focus on borrowing money, and we'll be using the Inspire app on our calculator again, so you'll want to have that handy. Remember, if you don't have your calculator and the first task, I posted a website where you can do the same thing that we're doing here on our calculator. And we'll also need the last 2 pages of the notes packet. And that link was right under task 1 on Schoology. So, how do loans actually work? First off, let's suppose, and this is not in the notes packet, we're just going to talk through a couple slides first. So suppose you take out a 5-year car loan for $15,000, 6% annual interest, and your monthly payment is $290. So how much do you still owe after 1 year making the car or owning the car? So first off, the first faulty logic that people sometimes have is, okay, I made 12 payments of $290 each, equals $3,480. Subtract that from the principal amount, and that's how much you have left to owe. Okay, so that is not what actually happens. The other common logic is, okay, 15,000, 6% of that would be 900. So 15,900, take off the 3,480 I paid over the year, so I still owe 12,420. That also is incorrect. So here's what really happens. So here's that 15,000. What happens is over the course of the month, interest is collected. So there's $75 in interest during that first month, and then you make that $290 payment. So by the time you make the payment, your principal that you owe is actually more than what you started with. So you make the 290 payment and then it goes down. So the two reasons why these were faulty logic, the first one did not account for the interest that's being accrued. And the second one, the interest is happening each month. It's constantly being added on. It's not just added at the start. So notice that even though you paid $290, only $215 of it went on the principal. Now, over time, because that amount still owed is a little bit less each time, notice the amount that's going on principal is more and more as you go on. So if we look at a similar idea with a mortgage, so say it's a $200,000 mortgage, 5% interest, and your monthly payments are this if you don't factor in taxes, because taxes would add onto that. So in your first payment, so you start with 200,000. If you're paying $1,074, notice 833 of it so is going to interest and only 240 to principal. So even though you just paid over $1,000, only $240 of it was knocked off of your principal balance. And when I bought my first house, that was one of the most shocking things I recognized with my first mortgage statement. I had paid all this money and so much of it went to interest and taxes, and so little of it went to the principal, and it was demoralizing. Um, so as you noticed, the amount going to principal is going up little by little, but we'll talk about some ways where you can make that happen more quickly. Okay, so we're going to go to the packet now. So again, we're going to focus on borrowing today. So the Smith family, they're buying a home for $200,000. They're going to make a $20,000 down payment. They're going to take their mortgage out from Marine Midland Bank, which doesn't exist anymore, at 5.5% for 30 years and compounded monthly. What's the monthly payment required to amortize this loan? So amortized means um, equal monthly payments so that it will eventually be paid off at the 30-year mark. All right, so remember we go to Menu, Finance, and the Finance Solver. Let's start with our PPY. We want monthly, so we want that to be 12. So then in the end spot, we wanted 30 years times the monthly, so 30 times 12 we'll have. They told us the percent was 5.5. Now, when we were doing investing, the amount you started with was coming out of your pocket. It was coming out of your wallet and you were putting it into the investment. So it went in as a minus. Well, when you borrow, money is coming into your wallet. Well, we need to think about how much money is coming into our wallet. Well, we borrowed, or our home was 200,000, but we did a down payment of 20,000, so we actually only borrowed 180,000. And it goes in as a positive because it's coming into your wallet. We'll save the payment for a second because that's what we're going to find. And our final value, we want to pay it all off, so we want it to be 0. So we'll go to the payment spot, hit enter, and we get negative 1,022.02. So our answer here, the reason it's negative is because it's a payment, so it's leaving our wallet. But when you write your answer, you can just write it as the positive. Just on the finance app, we need to know the direction it's going. Okay, and on your page, you would fill in each of these. On your homework, on your quiz, you need to be filling in each of those as well. So how much money did the bank actually earn from the family by giving this mortgage? Well, so each month they're paying 1,022 times the 360 months for the life of the loan. And then we can subtract off the 180,000 that was the amount that the Smith family got from the bank. So when you put that in, you end up getting $187,927.20, which is astonishing. The bank made almost twice as much as, well, actually they did make more than the amount they loaned because they only loaned the 180,000, so they're making more than that back over the time with the interest. So really, it cost the Smith family $387,000 and change to buy their $200,000 house. So how can you make this better? How can you make it so you're not paying so much money, so much more than the actual purchase price for your house? Let's see, what if the Smiths had just added a little bit extra? What if they had added $100 a month towards their principal? So let's change, instead of 102202, let's add an extra $100 there. And we got to keep it as minus. So it's 1122.02 now. And let's see, how long would that take to pay off the loan? So let's go over to N, and we'll hit enter. So we got 290.65 about. So it's 290.65 months times our new monthly payment of 1,122.02. And then we'll subtract off the 180,000, which was the amount they actually borrowed. So this first part is the total out of pocket that the Smith family is going to pay now by paying just $100 extra each month. It took fewer months. It only took 290 months instead of 360. And then this is the amount that the bank actually gave them. So when we subtract that, we get $146,115.11. So if we compare that to this amount here, that's a difference in $41,000. So simply by putting $100 extra each month, in the long run, they save $41,000, which is crazy. That's like saying, all right, if you put if you put the $100 on it early, so meaning instead of waiting till it's due and putting it on each month, over the life of your loan, we'll give you a free car essentially. So when you eventually buy a house, anything extra you can afford, put it on your mortgage each month. By paying down the loan quicker, you're paying yourself. It works out in the long run. By getting that principal down, you're not paying as much interest. So you want to put anything extra you can on your loan. Now, in addition to saving the money, 290 months compared to 360 months, that's about 6 years early that you're paying off the loan. So also by just putting $100 extra, you're going to be done paying it off in 24 years instead of 30 years. And then you've got 6 years where you won't have to worry about any mortgage payments. So another benefit of just putting a little bit extra. If you can't do 100, put $50 extra on. Any little bit extra you can put on is worthwhile. It'll benefit you a ton because you'll save on the interest. All right, next one. Suppose you can afford to make payments of $250 a month on a used car. Going interest rate for a 36-month car loan is 5% compounded monthly. If you put zero money down, what's the most expensive car you can buy? So we're going to solve this problem, but first off, you need to understand if you're walking into a car dealership and this is your question, what is the most expensive car you can buy? You're an idiot. You should not ask what is the most expensive thing you can get. You should ask yourself, what is the car that I need? And then whatever that is, if it's less than the most expensive car you can buy, then that's good. Then you have money that you can put elsewhere. You can put extra on, say, your mortgage, or use it to do fun stuff. But if you're walking in, anytime you apply for a loan, they'll tell you the maximum amount you can borrow. If you borrow that amount, you're barely going to be able to get by. Um, so don't go off of what is the most expensive you can do. Go off of what you need. Okay, so I'm just going to delete these each out so we can start fresh. All right, so we are doing monthly again. So our PPY is 12. So we have 36 months. They already gave it to us in months. So we didn't have to do times 12 of anything. We had 5% for our loan. We want to find what the most expensive you can buy is. So that means the loan that you want. So we're going to leave that blank for right now. We want our payment to be 250, which is coming out of our wallet, so it needs to go in as a minus. And then eventually we want the car loan to be paid off, so we want that to be 0. So if we go back to the original value, we get that 8,341 and 43 cents is the most expensive car you can buy if you pay the sales tax up front. So sales tax is 8%. If you did 8% of that, you'd have to pay $667.31 in sales tax. Now, if you can pay the sales tax up front and have that extra money, then really that's probably not the most expensive car you can buy. So we can maybe think, okay, what is the amount after sales tax that will match that most expensive? So we want to know what original amount times 1.08, so including the taxes, will end up giving us that 8,341.43. Because think of it as that's our top dollar that we can pay, including sales tax and everything. Because if this was our top dollar, we're not going to have an extra 667 lying around. So if we divide that over, we end up getting 7,723.55. And that can go there. And that is really the most expensive car you can get. And then with the tax, that'll bring us up to this amount here. So if you roll the tax in. All right, going to the next page. So the current average interest rate. Oh, just a mention here too. Remember on your homework and on your quiz, I want you to see write in for me what each of those things are that you put in. We're always doing end. So the next page, current average interest rate for a 60-month car loan is 4.5%, while the average interest rate for a 36-month car loan is 5%. Analyze the difference in monthly payments and the overall price paid for a $20,000 vehicle, assuming 10% was put down. All right, so let's clear these out of there to start fresh. So we are going monthly, so we'll keep the PPY 12. So we're doing 60 months. It's already in months, so we don't have to multiply like a year's times a month. We've got 4.5% interest. If it's 20,000 and you're putting 10% down, that means you're putting $2,000 down, so really it's only 18,000 that you are borrowing. When you borrow, it comes into your wallet, so that is a positive value. We want to end up with no balance, and we want to figure out the payment. So we'll go to the payment spot and hit enter. It's negative because it's coming out of our wallet. So in this first one, we are paying 335.57 a month. And if we do that times the 60 months, that'll give us 20,134.20 for the total amount that you're paying for the car. So really, remember we put 2,000 down. So if you're doing the 60 month, you end up paying $2,134 more than the actual price of the car. So if we do the 36-month loan, we're still 12 because the monthly, still the same amount we're borrowing, 18,000, but now we have 36 months. Our interest rate is 5%, and our payment, we've got 539.48. And again, on your papers, you can be filling in each of those. So then we'll take that 539.48, multiply it by 36 for the 36 months, and we get 19,421.28. So which of these plans is a better idea? Well, the pros for the 60-month loan are each month you get to pay a little bit less. So that means your monthly expenses, you might have more money per month to put elsewhere. The pros for the 36-month loan are in the long run, you're going to pay out less money for that car. Okay, around like $700-ish or so. Also, you're done paying off the loan 2 years earlier. So probably if you can afford this monthly payment, okay, if you have that bit extra, about $200 extra to be able to pay each month, you're going to want to do the shorter loan. Okay, you don't have to pay as much in interest, and it will save you in the long run. Now, additionally, you'll have 2 extra years where you don't have a car payment. Now, I heard a financial presentation once with something that made a lot of sense. When you have, say, a car loan or some other loan that you are putting a little bit extra on. So we talked about putting the $100 extra on like your mortgage, and it saves you a lot in the long run. Well, you could do that same thing with a car loan. Say you put a little bit extra on your car loan each month. That's going to cut down how much interest you pay overall in the long run, and that's going to save you a lot of money. But let's say you pay off your car loan and your car's still in good shape, and you can keep going without having to have a loan. What I heard this person say once is keep paying your monthly loan amount, but pay it to yourself. So if you're paying 539 each month, keep putting start putting aside 539 each month once your loan ends. But you're just putting it in like a spot in your bank account. If you keep putting away 539 each month, then by the time you need a new car, you're going to have a big chunk of money either for a down payment, so you're not borrowing as much, or if your car lasts long enough, you're going to have enough to just buy a new car with cash. And then if you just keep doing that every time, then you're never going to have to pay the interest. So by being able to set aside the money and not having to take out a loan and not having to pay the interest, you are saving yourself money. So like here, it ended up being around $1,500, $2,000 or so that you would save. So if you can get ahead of the game and for that second car not have to take out a loan, think of it as you get a free vacation. You get $1,500, you can go somewhere and enjoy yourself. So the big idea with loans is anything extra you can pay on the loan, put it onto your monthly payment, the extra. The banks, they don't want you to do that because if you pay it off earlier, they don't make as much money. But for your benefit, if you can afford to put any extra on your monthly payments, put a little extra on, a little bit each month adds up big time in the long run, saving on interest and also ends your loan sooner.